We wanted to have 2 children, and we already had Nicholas, and so we were about ready to try, and it actually happened pretty quickly, and so we were excited about that. And interestingly, his due date was going to be almost right on Nicholas's birthday, 2 years apart, so we thought that was kind of neat, and we're just really looking forward to adding him to the family.
I was excited. I was ready. I raised my first one, stayed at home for a few months with him, so I got to see him grow up from the beginning, and I was excited to be able to see a second one come up, and what I can do with him, what things we can do in the future.
We were going in to find out boy or girl. They're going to do the anatomy scan, so we're really excited. Strangely, I was a little nervous. I couldn't figure out why I was nervous. I just remember being very nervous that day. We got there and they started the screen, and the ultrasound technician mentioned that the brain lobes were a little prominent. And I, of course, at first I'm like, I don't know, is that a good thing? He's got a big brain? I don't know, right? Like, I don't know what this means. And then she mentioned that she saw a cleft lip. And then she kind of got a little bit quieter and just kind of started pointing out, here's this, here's that. She wasn't able to tell boy or girl. And she said, the doctor's going to come in and take a look. And so I kind of gleaned from what she had said that something wasn't quite right. I'd heard the cleft lip, so I knew there was at least something wrong. So we waited and for the doctor, and when he came in, he said the same thing. The brain lobes are on the large side. They're too prominent. There's a double cleft lip. It was a little boy, and which we were excited about. We were kind of hoping for another boy. And basically just said, if it were just one thing that were wrong and it didn't look right, I wouldn't be so concerned, but there's multiple things. So we had a couple of options. We could either just come in for more frequent ultrasounds and see kind of what happened, or we could have an amnio done and find out definitively. His concern was with more than one thing wrong, there might be something systemic wrong. I'm in tears, of course, and really scared, and so we both just decided we had to know.
When the test results came back of trisomy 13, we don't know very much about it, but then later on you learn about it and you're like, wow, this is bad. This is real bad.
The doctor called. And I guess when I answered the phone and it was the doctor, it was probably when I should have known that there was something really wrong. And so he told me that, unfortunately, the baby had trisomy 13, which is a chromosomal issue, and that it's fatal, and he would not survive. So called my husband, trying not to be hysterical on the phone, so that, was afraid he'd get in a car wreck or something on the way home. We just talked and just tried to deal with the thought of losing our little baby. And we actually hadn't named him at that point yet. We were waiting to find out boy or girl, but the name Gabriel just kind of popped in my head, and I just told him that I just felt like that was his name and that, he's our little angel. So we had to go back into the doctor the following Monday, and when we went in, he was gone, and we had to deliver him. So we actually went into the hospital on Valentine's Day of 2012 to deliver him, and he was a little stubborn about coming out, so it took till the next day, but on the 15th he was born, and we got to hold him and spend a little time with him. Mm-hmm. And so I'm grateful for that. It's just hard to try and think of kind of everything you want to say to somebody, to your child, in just a few minutes, or the time that you have. Eventually you have to hand him back over. That was a really hard part, watching the nurse walk away from him. The other part, which I guess I hadn't really thought about, was what it was going to be like leaving the hospital. And they came with a wheelchair, and you're in a maternity ward, and they're wheeling you out. You don't have anything to hold in your arms. So they brought me this box, and it was a memory box, and we hadn't really bought hardly anything for him yet. And it had a little outfit in it and a little blanket, and the pictures they took of him were in there. It had this heart necklace that I'm wearing in there. It was the only thing I really had to remember him by or for him, and it gave me something to go home with. If I can help one person not have to go through what I went through, it would make everything worth it. March of Dimes is such an important organization because it's so personal. I don't think there's anything more important to people in their lives than their children and their babies. And March of Dimes is out there not only helping people who have been through losses and helping people who have premature births, but they're also out there making sure that as many pregnancies that do happen are healthy and result in a healthy baby.